Yeah. We are back again.
What's up, fam?
My friends. What's going on, people? All right. We are at the Roundtable Podcast Show. Got to give it over to my brother, as I always do.
Hey, man, A-Money, Adrian Biddle.
You know why they call him A-Money? You can bang on it. Yeah.
Throwing it back at you now, man.
Hey, Kerry Deegsby, the guy behind the board, somewhat tech guy. Keep everything rolling. Having fun. It's a blessing. What's going on, people? Hope y'all doing well.
Yes. And our third member is missing temporarily. She should be walking up in here any minute. But like I said about 2 years ago, that's the fun part about being live.
That's it. You can only imagine what the people do in WSOC, WCCB, and all that when something happens. But we're versatile.
Absolutely. But in the meantime,
yes,
we got an addition for our show today.
We always love special guests.
Always. Part of the people, one of the gentlemen out there that was supporting us and has been, a matter of fact, very influential on our last podcast show.
Yes, indeed.
I'd like to introduce the one, the only, the magnificent Brad.
What's going on, Brad?
Ain't nothing much. What's going on with y'all? What's going on
Ain't
at
nothing,
the
man.
Roundtable Podcast family?
Family.
I feel very honored to be such a part of August panel today. I
Yes.
feel blessed. We're gonna bring the truth.
That's right.
The Roundtable Podcast.
That's
One of
right.
the best things going in Charlotte right now.
Oh, man.
Get in tune.
Man. Appreciate that.
Get in tune.
Love it.
Get in tune, please.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Crystal Coxon for joining us. What's going on, Crystal?
Hey, Crystal.
Thank you for joining us on At the Roundtable. Terry Deegsby, thank you for joining us.
Hey, Miss Dixby.
My daughter, she joined us. What's going on, baby? And Tangi Watts, what's going on? Thank you for joining us at the Roundtable.
Hey, Tans.
Oh, Miss Pretty. Hey, sis, what's going on with you? Miss Pretty. CBD. Hey, her business is booming right now. A lot of people don't know about CBD. We did that convention not too long
Yeah,
ago.
CBD convention.
Yeah.
At, where was that at?
It was at the Renaissance Suites.
There you go.
And there was a lot of individuals that were there. If you don't know about CBD and its healing properties and such, get in contact with my girl right here. Sis, go ahead and post your business information on here. We love promoting and telling people about the business and stuff. So if you get a chance, drop your email, drop your website, tell us a little bit about you, get involved in the dialogue. All right. Who else we got? Oh, my goodness. Well, she's en route right now, but yet she's a part of the show.
Is it Melissa?
On the other side, what's going on, Melissa? AKA
The pit bull in a dress.
Yes. And if you don't know why,
Try.
Yeah, she says she's on the way. All right.
Bite that head off.
Yeah.
Hey, got your seat right here, sis. Come on. Waiting on you. Miss you.
And we're also streaming live. This will be her segment right here, but we also are streaming live on Instagram.
Yes.
Unfortunately, right now, I can't field any of your questions, but you do have the availability of watching it live as well. If you feel the need to, come on over to our Facebook page, and if you want to interact with us, that would be the best method in doing that. So either or, we are pleased that you're checking us out on either one of the two formats. But if you want to interact with us, then come on over to our Facebook page as well.
And man, let me go ahead and throw a shameless plug in there because a lot of people may not understand it and stuff. I'm chit-chatting with several people on the phone right now, but our podcast is the people's podcast, and the reason why is because it's dialogue that we bring to the people. We offer, the opportunity for you to showcase your talent as well as your business. So, I mean, hey, if you know anybody else that's doing it and is serious about doing it, let us know because we would love getting on it. Otherwise, come join us right now at the Roundtable Podcast Show. All right, so it looks like Kingly Living just joined us on the show.
Oh yeah. I'm here. Had to share that.
Appreciate it.
Had to share that.
One more shameless plug.
Shameless plug time.
Again, if you were to go on our Facebook page, you'll see a nomination link for Queen City Awards.
Do that.
Yeah.
And right now they are looking to select a couple of different, different categories. And what is it? You got media, you have
Media, magazine, blogger, music, model, best gospel album by male, best gospel album by female, R&B, country,
Jazz.
and jazz, as well as podcast shows.
That's right.
So with that being said,
Yes.
if you like what you see and you have been liking what you see, please go on that link and actually nominate us as best podcast. We greatly appreciate the support. We see the views are going up weekly, and we know it's because of you, and we sincerely thank you for that.
All right. So we got people chiming in, they're coming in and stuff. So do we even want to go ahead and get into the meat of the dialogue tonight?
Is Melissa, she's still online?
She's still on here and stuff. So I think technically we're all here.
Okay.
She's on here, so I say we should. But I'm gonna leave it up to y'all. I'm just the guy behind the board. So y'all tell me.
Hey, go ahead and introduce it to him then.
How are we gonna introduce this one right here? This is a very interesting topic this evening. Shout out to, again, this is being the People's Podcast, and the people have given us topics to talk about. So tonight's topic is dealing with basically workplace infidelity. Now hold the phone before you get upset and start tripping. There's layers to this thing. So when it was brought to us, they said, take this into consideration. Is it okay to have a workplace boo, like a workplace husband, workplace wife? And when are the lines drawn or overstepped? Okay, I'll put it out there. Let y'all decide. Bro, what y'all think?
Adrian, I'll let you
Oh,
speak.
you right.
Yes, that's spoken.
I'm in my current situation right now, being married and happily married for over 20 years. I find that I would have a problem with actually stating that I have a workplace wife. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to disrespect my wife in that, and putting a label on somebody like that. Now, a good friend at work, not a problem, but putting that workplace wife on it, it's only one of those for me.
Ooh,
just saying.
Okay. Well, our guest, the man with a lot of wisdom we've acquired over several months. What do you think, bro?
I think it's very interesting when you first brought this topic up to us, because 2019 has elevated outside relationships.
All right, you said elevated, y'all.
Because I would say that, and just like Adrian said, I wouldn't want to disrespect my wife either. I've been married for 2 years, and young marriage, but I realized that the game don't never stop. Game don't never stop. Either you're in or you're out. And that's the thing. She ain't got to be no workplace wife per se.
Okay.
It's like you said, she could be a good friend.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, anything a man say to a woman, there's game to get below the equator.
Oh,
if y'all catch my drill.
Oh, we get kind of deep in here.
It's just game.
This is true. You have to. It depends on what both individuals want. You are absolutely right. I totally agree with you on that, because it could be strictly platonic, and then it could go from platonic to being something a lot more than just platonic.
That's right.
You're certainly right about that.
And and a mature male that's comfortable within himself, he's gonna understand. Okay, I need to carry myself a certain way around these people, especially a black man. Black men in the workplace, we can only keep it real with other black men. Anybody else, you're gonna have to talk phony, straddle the line a little bit, but you're gonna have to, if you want to get money in this culture, capitulation is a part of that. So that leads me to believe in the various work environments I've been in, is flirting natural for men and women when y'all around each other? Because when you brought that topic, I said, well, let me do a little bit of backlog, and I tried to find some numbers. And we spend a lot of time at work.
This is true.
And our lifetime is really close to almost 90,000 hours at work.
Mm.
So you think about that. You've been working with this young lady or lady for quite some time, and y'all been friends, and she understand what it is. She know you married. She know you got a family. You know she married.
Mm-hmm.
She know you ain't in the game. You know she ain't in the game like that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, sometimes lines get blurred. Lines can get blurred, and if y'all keep, and if she keep her mouth shut, it can be a beautiful thing. This is what happens in America.
Ooh, hold on, y'all, because it's getting deep over here.
Okay, share, please share.
Charlie 2 says hello to everybody.
Hey,
Thank
Charlie.
What's going on, Charlie?
Charlie then said, that if you're bothered by emotional cheating. Okay? So Charlie, go ahead and expound on that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I told you, speak on it. Terry just said, I think it depends on the job. SUV is a great example of this. Olivia and Elliot had a job where their lives developed on them being in sync and having that strong relationship. It's almost impossible not to have that bond. Charlie just said, replying to Terry, good point. So now the dialogue has occurred, as it always do in the people's podcast, right? And, you know,
See, now you were involved in this dialogue 2 weeks ago.
yes, he was in it.
I was.
He was in it to win it. So okay, so is that part of the line then? Okay, because is that emotional cheating then? Because like you said, the flirting part. Okay, so you know, you at work, you know, people see you and stuff, you interact or whatever sort, and then if something is said to you by, say, someone of the opposite sex, is emotional cheating going over the line as well? You know what I'm saying? As far as if you get into it, you know, it's like, looking good right there, and you're like, hey, appreciate it, you looking good too, girl. And then y'all start flirting with each other, little dialogue, oh, so silly, and all this other. Is that overstepping, y'all? I wish she was here. But you know, but y'all jump in, y'all get it in while you can before she get here.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Because emotions get involved after intercourse is had on some cases. Now, if you just out here getting emotional just off somebody giving you a compliment, I don't know what to say to no man like that. I'm just
Old woman.
Old woman.
Now,
Yeah,
you know
what I'm
some
saying?
guys still got game in the tongue.
That's
now,
true.
you know?
That's true. I mean, getting emotional over a compliment though, that's pretty that's a compliment is just harmless. But you definitely have to be careful when you at work because it's like the young lady said, it depends on the job. Because that environment that you surrounded, a lot of people not there for the same reasons. And that emotional cheating usually comes in after intercourse is had. Then once when intercourse is had, especially the situations I've been in, intercourse is had, look, I don't even want you to say nothing to me. That's like you don't even know me. This is a place of business.
So you
don't say nothing to me after I put them legs in the air. Don't say nothing. And I know excuse my vulgarity, but this is what happened. This is what happened when she get here, pit bull in the skirt can try to give me some pushback, but it's the truth. This is how a man thinks. You ain't shit no more. You give me that pussy.
Yeah.
So Charlie just said emotional cheating can hurt more than physical, dependent on headspace.
That's true. That's a great one.
There she go again, y'all. Charlie, when did you come to Charlotte? Okay,
that's true.
Boy, she have dropped it. So Crystal just said, my take on it is that some are strictly work only, and it is only a title due to the amount of time or close working relationships. No emotional or sexual innuendo.
With that being said, do you have a significant other? Just out of curiosity, if you wouldn't mind answering that question.
You go ahead and answer that, and I'm gonna say the second part to your thing. She said, then a mature workmate understands there is a line and it will not be crossed. It is the individual's integrity and commitment to their actual spouse that will not allow them to blur any line. Whoa!
All that sound good. All that do. I'm just saying, all that sounds extravagant.
Yes.
But we live in a world of lust. Based off what you see, look, I know how you come to work every day. Look, some things happen, especially if y'all have a company function and y'all out and I see you outside your element, you see me outside the work element, further attraction will come.
Mhm.
Further attraction can't happen. Now, that is true though. It depends on that headspace and what type of,
It does.
how you operating.
It
But
does.
a lot of times, man, a lot of businesses, man, it go down at the workplace.
Again, that's why I said it definitely depends on the individual and what their intents are. Because if you're leaving yourself open to it, and it's a general interest from the opposite party, I can assure you sparks will fly eventually. That's why I said it just depends on the individual with something like that.
It does.
Mhm.
All right, so Terry just chimed in. She said, I don't think it's emotional cheating, but you get two different things from each relationship. Your work spouse, you don't necessarily flirt with, but you get that support in regards to your job because they know what's going on firsthand. That's your support system in a way. However, if y'all can't see where the lines are, then you should probably put some space in there.
Ooh, bro. You know what? She hitting on a couple of topics that I was going to touch on.
Yes, she did.
Hey.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, so good point.
All right. And then Crystal said, to your question, yes, I do.
Okay, Crystal. This is no judge free zone right here.
No judge free.
So would you have a problem introducing your significant other to your work husband or allowing them to hear some of the conversations you talk about?
Oh, Pitbull got me. What's up, sis? I miss you. What's up,
Here,
man?
guys. Mother duty sometimes doesn't care
Hey,
about what you want to do.
Hey, no explanation. That's
Gentlemen,
Okay.
welcome.
all right, it's only probably now, bro. Hold on,
What did I miss?
let me
What
move
did I
my phone.
miss?
Let me make room. Hold
Yeah,
on.
but let me know, Crystal. We're waiting on their response. Appreciate you
Yeah.
sharing too.
And then Charlie just said, work stress and alienation at home often creates the infidelity at work.
Most definitely. And I was just about to say that too. When you have a limited belief system, that's a form of self-infliction because everything has to be challenged at some point. You limit yourself to those obsolete. The only thing obsolescent is the only thing that should be obsolescent is what you limit yourself to as far as your beliefs, as far as infidelity goes, maybe. Because a lot of times when you pushed, people gonna gravitate to what feels comfortable to them at that time. Everything we want is on the other side of fear. So a lot of times in workplace relationships, it's like, well, my husband isn't giving me this, but my work boo is giving me that courage I need, that confidence I need. He's giving me that. Shit, my husband, he just come to work, he go home and go to sleep, and he don't really do nothing. But my work boo, I'm trying to see what he's talking about. But that happens a lot of times. I'm saying, don't limit yourself to, to beliefs that's going to keep you in the box. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
Yes.
what do you mean don't limit yourself to beliefs?
I knew it was coming.
Like, are you saying what? Explain that. Go deeper for me.
I would say a lot of times, a lot of people, they just limit themselves to a specific belief. Oh, this is how a relationship is supposed to go. This is how my life is supposed to go by this age, because they're not living within the spiritual realm of themselves.
Gotcha. So they're not open to possibilities. They just have in their mind that this is the way it's supposed to go, and that's how it's going to.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And with me being raised in the South, I don't know who else was raised in the South. In the South, I would say that's kind of a rigid. You a good wife. You go to work. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. You go to work and come home and you take care of that family. You supposed to be a real man. But the elder that's saying that was 40 years ago. Now it's a whole different.
That's why it's important for the youth to talk to our elders and our elders to speak to our youth, because the things that were practical and relatable and relevant at those times, I don't dismiss those, but then you have to then say, okay, this is how you apply it to modern day. So a man should still, go to work, take care of his family and things of that nature. However, there's other stuff now. You had maybe one or two women in the workplace at that time say 40 years ago, 50 years ago, 60 years ago.
Mhm.
Now, depending on the field that you're in, the women are dominating the opposite. So now you teach that man how to restrain or how to be safe, and conduct himself as such. I had the privilege to working with you guys for a short time, and all three of you at this table, cordial, nice, approachable, but you also were like, because there were some of those women, y'all just be like, hey, how you doing? You never say anything foul about that person, but I already know you guys have picked up on that's bad business. She's bad news. And so you keep it at a hey, how you doing, and you leave it alone. And I pick up on that because I'm like, okay, if they ain't messing with her, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna mess with her either. I'm late, I apologize to our viewers. I don't like the term work husband, work wife.
Just about to ask.
I don't like it. I don't like it because I feel like it's a specific title to be somebody's husband or to be somebody's wife. And to then say, oh, that's my work husband. So then what do you have? A grocery husband? Do you have a department store husband? Do you have you know what I mean? Like, I don't like it. And I don't, when someone tries to like say that, I have a tendency to spoil the people that I like, whether it's bringing treats or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Don't try to label me as that if I'm doing that for opposite sex, persons or person, because I have a husband at home, and I do feel just like you said, and trying to watch in a car on the way here. Yeah, you do have a lot of people that are missing something at the house, so therefore they make up for it at the office, or they try to find it in the office. And I mean, to have this discussion with the three of you guys, be able to observe how you conduct yourself in an office setting. It's doable to be around women and to be around attractive women, to be around women that are maybe not have the intent, to try to be flirtatious or whatever, but these women, some of them are bold. And I've witnessed it, and I can say all three. I've witnessed that these men right here at this table have held a standard to dismiss all the ratchetness that came through the aisle to the desk. They don't play that, and I respect them so much because of that. Because I'm like, any other person or any other guy or whatever the case, even if they weren't gonna go outside a relationship, they would have, played with the compliment, played with the flirts, played with the, the back and forth. These guys right here, they shut it down. Like, they don't even feed into that. So I'm like, okay, you know what? It is doable.
Well, thank you. Check will be in the mail at the end of the week.
So they chime in now, boy. I don't know what it is. Pitbull came in. Hey, girl. Man cave to shut down.
All right, good for the locker on.
It's good to have that female perspective, though.
It is very good. So Crystal went back and she said she misled the question. She asked you to repeat that question that you had.
Okay.
And then Charlie said, your work boo is smoke and mirrors. It's a regional thing.
Right.
And then she said this is why getting out of your circle is important. You need exposure and conversation.
Yep.
Definitely, thank you for that. Terry just mentioned she had 3 jobs when she started dating CJ. So she had a work boyfriend that I sat next to in meetings or carpool with. However, as my relationship developed further, I cut back my jobs. I don't talk to him as much. However, we're still friends. A true work relationship only has a foundation in the workplace. So to me, it's easy not to cross the boundaries.
Very good. I think that. And I think that when you someone is in a relationship, you know, with me, I hit off with Carrie and Adrian immediately before meeting Brad. They spoke about their wives, which was another characteristic that I was like, okay, that's really nice. I knew their wives' names, birthdays, because they spoke about their wives. At the point where we were talking and having lunch and stuff together, it was like, yo, I can't wait to meet your wife. Like, you know, if their wives decide to say, okay, you know what, she's cool, y'all can be friends with her. I don't want to sound mean, like I don't want to be friends with her, but I'm just saying, like, if they're not saying, you know, I don't really want to try to develop a relationship. I just know who she is. I know where she stands. She knows where I stand. That's cool. But I think that you're supposed to be that person that's like, you know, they're in a relationship that needs to extend past you if it's something that goes outside of work. If it's something that goes outside of work, you need to respect what that person has going on outside of work.
That's key. Respect should be the religion of your relationship.
Wait, hold on. We had a moment. Did you catch it?
I heard it. I want to say it again.
Respect should be the religion of your relationship.
Boom.
What dropped the mic?
I'm telling you, because that's key that you said that, because you actually understand how we operate, and that's a good thing. Working with women, seeing how we respond to women. But a lot of times I will say, when you around, and I'm just speaking.
You gotta keep it real.
Because a lot of, I'm gonna just be real. A lot of men, it's like, okay, I'm gonna act this way at work because I look at the physical aspect of these women I work with. Ain't nothing in here like that. But when you surround a man
with so much,
when you surround a man with some pretty women, excuse me. I'm just saying, you really see
you get
how
distracted.
you see how certain men act, and I've seen
you
it.
do.
And to go back to your point earlier, you're right. It was only 1 or 2, maybe 3 women in certain office spaces. Now, women dominate, especially when you talk about black women, black men. Only 16% of black men got bachelor's degrees.
Exactly.
So a lot of them aren't in those corporate spaces. Right. They at the construction, solid wage jobs maybe, and this is just what it is, right? In a lot of urban cities,
right?
So when you say that, you're right. You have to practice restraint.
You do.
But when you working with majority of the women where everything pointing towards the streets, older women, gravity, you take off, you know what I'm saying? After you get finished with them, you just drive home slow and sad. You're like, I don't know why I put myself through that. But this is what goes down. This is what happens.
You know what? I just thought about that scene in Boomerang when she like, Mark.
This is what happens. I'm just saying. This is what happens.
Right.
This is what happens in the workplace. When you come into today's terms, it's like, dang, it's not a lot of me around. So I'm gonna have to gravitate to something that I think is, relatable.
Yeah.
But that happens when majority of young cats that I know, I can only speak for young cats that I know and me. It happens when you ain't got no type of balance in life. When you're not on your game, and these days you don't even need to want to risk it. That's what I say to my younger cousins. Luckily, they're in places to where they work with females and they come to me for advice. I tell them, look, if you're going to deal with one, you need to at least wait 6 months to a year before crossing the physical barrier, because you need to know who you're dealing with. Because surveillance will save you.
Here go another one. Surveillance will save you.
For real. If you have some surveillance, don't let her catch you up.
I think I could speak to older women, because at this point, if you 40 north, you're considered an older woman. The stats you gave is very prevalent, because the 16% of the black men that have bachelors are just out of college. So now you have these older women who are surrounded, because we also, even though we may be dominant, we also enjoy our candy. We enjoy seeing, like you said, it may be stuff going south. You may have, gentlemen that's losing muscle mass and belly's poking out, and then you got the young tenders come across, and the shirts is popping on their shoulders and pecs, and we like looking at that too. I'm not gonna sit here in front, but you catch a lot of older women trying to catch up those young guys.
Most definitely.
Because it's like, how you doing? I just brought you this. I baked some bread. Because it goes into the old school knowledge, you know, of, okay, you came to him, you show him attention, you're going to get him. And so you're like, why is she doing that? Or the guy might be like, okay, thank you. You know, if he trusted enough to eat from her, you know, she always making sure he got lunch. And it's a very slippery slope. So you have to watch out with what you're looking for. And what
Especially when you're younger.
Right.
Yes.
I'm telling you, especially when you're young.
Yeah. And I mean, I like to say a lot of us that's 40 plus, you know, we keeping ourselves up. You know, we can't define age and stuff, but at the same time, you know, we keeping ourselves together. So, you know, the young cat might think y'all only 5 years apart when y'all 14.
Yeah, thanks to Instagram.
Thanks to Instagram.
You're able to actually get access now. It's real life.
So Charlie, I challenged her. I said, okay, y'all not ready for this next question. She said, bring it. I said, so here's the question then. Who does it more? Are there more workplace husbands? Or are there more workplace wives?
I think that's equal. These days.
These days,
honestly, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's because women are feeling more liberal. They're feeling more empowered. They're not as ashamed as an older woman might have felt about her image. So she's feeling more like, hey, and all she needs is one young cat to be like, okay, I'm a bite. She's cool after that. She's going to feel like, oh, I had one, I can have another. So I don't think that there is one more than the other. I think it's equally work husbands and or work wives. So
That's a good point.
Yeah, I was about to say I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even begin to tell you. I don't really pay it that much attention. I hear it every now and then at work on occasions. If I was a betting man, I had to agree with you. It's about even what I done seen.
we've seen some aggressive women.
Yeah, I would definitely say being that women dominate a lot of corporate spaces because, you know, hard labor jobs.
Yeah.
You know, that's
The ratio is like 20 to 1.
Yeah. So I think within the corporate spaces, I would say it's even too because loyalty shifts when a woman feels like she's becoming the man of the house. And when I say loyalty shifts, women feel more liberal. A lot of times they feel like, well, I can do what I want to do.
There's no risk.
There's no risk in this because I'm the breadwinner in this situation. My husband, he ain't really, you know, popping like that. He working all the time. I got needs too. I got an itch that need to be scratched. I want my legs in the air, like this young boy.
You heard it first here. Around table.
That young bad.
But because I would say this: everything is falsehood a lot of times in marriages too, because it's a mask that gets worn. When you in a marriage for so long, and the spiritual development isn't really there, you low key wearing a mask. You have to continue to develop that marriage spiritually, and that's why, you know, you wouldn't be going to work looking for no husband or no wife.
Satisfaction.
You know what I'm saying? So it's I think that has a lot to do with it too. Like we don't know how to live freely sometimes. I would say as humans, and a lot of times, you know, in our cases, in Black people cases, a lot of people, they're looking to be white men because they look as white men as they run stuff.
Right.
So that's why you
just want to know what it feels like to have
power.
liberation and have power or some type of entitlement. And I think that being 19 years of marriage, anybody thinking they've been Bartlett's office wife ain't happening. I'm coming for you. It's like, no, I'm playing. But I feel like, you know, you have to be honest when you walk out the door. You know, be honest about what you do, what you say, how you react. Couples need to have this conversation. Hey,
Yes.
I know my husband's type that will catch his eye. I know what will catch his eye.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not ignorant to that. And a lot of wives aren't either comfortable with saying that or confident enough to say that.
Mhm.
Do I think that my husband is walking down the halls in the office or out to lunch or going to the car and whatever may be what counts as his eye, he's not going to look? You're dumb if you think that.
That's true.
You're stupid if
That's
you
the
think that
easy.
this man ain't going to look. However, a glance is a glance. There's after his eyeballs blink, it's over. You know what I mean? But when your intent is there, that intent was there regardless of whether he saw her or not.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where you have to say, okay, be honest. Like, what's what? We'll make jokes about each other, like, oh, that's your type, or I say that's your type, whatever. We'll just make jokes.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, my husband knows that somebody may come. I'll tell him, like, yo, I was at the gas station. This dude was getting on my nerves. He's trying to talk to me. He's not flipping out. He's not, why, what you say? It's none of that. It's a conversation because I think sometimes married couples get comfortable thinking because maybe your interest is dull,
Mm-hmm.
that you think that your spouse ain't pulling nobody out there.
That's true.
I'm going to let you know. Your spouse is pulling people out
But-
there. I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
yeah.
your spouse is out there pulling people out there.
Yeah.
What may be dull to you because you've seen it all the time every day? What may be where, okay, that's something that's changed. So the thing that used to have you going crazy
Mhm.
due to age or whatever, it ain't there no more. There's somebody else that like it. So you need to be mindful of thinking that because your spouse may not be interesting to you or attracted to you, or maybe, I'm not gonna say not, let's just say not as much, that is the level of what he's putting out there or she's putting out there. Because there's somebody out there that's looking and interested right now.
I know mine's letting me know.
Yeah.
I give her a high five. Congratulations. Still got it.
Yeah.
Your thing.
Right, Queen T is gorgeous.
Yeah.
That speaks to the confidence of the person. Now, you have to be confident.
Yes.
You have to be confident with who you are. You have to be confident with what you're putting forth, because that insecurity will destroy a relationship.
It will.
They can.
This
I
is
mean,
true.
It can.
I mean, let's just be real about it. I mean,
This is true.
insecurity that's the death of a lot of relationships.
Yeah.
If you're so insecure about, oh, my husband looking at this, my husband looking at that. Yeah, because that's how you used to look. And you done stop doing that.
Oh,
That's another one. Another one right there.
Make sure you
Y'all
put the
ramp right
effort
here.
in. Put the effort
Gotcha,
in.
gotcha.
You
Yeah.
still got to get pretty, ladies. You still got to smell
Mhm.
good. If he saw you in the bonnet from Monday to Thursday, the weekend, jazz up.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Appreciate
do something else outside, because you get mad because your man is looking at somebody else or maybe giving someone attention. We'll just use that.
okay.
But what are you doing? You know, my husband don't expect me to be the same and have the same body that I did at 20 years old.
Okay.
You know, he doesn't expect that. But at the same time, he'll let me know. You're a little fluffy right there. You know? Or I may say something to him. Like, you know, and that is not offensive. It's not like, oh my God, I'm gonna go to class and cry. It's, hey, he's paying attention to you enough to say,
That's right.
I like this. If you know your husband like a certain color, you'll wear it. If you know your husband like your hair a certain way, you'll do it.
That's
So
true.
why not make sure that the whole package is appealing?
That's
Mhm.
true.
That's right. So the family's chiming in again. It's People's Podcast. Charlie said, if you pay attention, it's 50-50 these days. She's in agreement with you. Terry is as well. She said she feels like certain industries do it more than others.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal just mentioned, I agree. I couldn't give an answer because you have to consider that a workmate bond has to develop. It doesn't develop quickly. Trust has formed with the economy now. Not many stay at the same companies. They said facts as far as what you were just mentioning in regards to doing what you got to do. You know, what looks dull over here is shiny in the other person's eye.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie says someone is always paying attention. She said, my man gets the BMX challenge here. I'm a different woman daily sometimes. Okay. Charlie, we gotta have you on the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be your topic. How to switch it up and flip it up and keep it spicy. Because that's what, you know, Charlie, her business is that. She's very affluent in that. So definitely we got to cheer for you right here, Charlie. So, and I think when you're saying that too, sis, that goes for us too. You know, for the brothers, I mean, we need to realize too that, you know, when we were walking around with the tank top on, you know, we had the guns, fresh tattoo and everything, you know, everything was looking good, you know, sweatpants and Timbs, you know.
Yes, I love those gray
see, that
sweatpants
is
and
your
Timbs. I'm sorry.
That's what we do. But then when we got into the business world, we kind of toned it down, on nice Paisleys or the polos and things of that nature. So we gotta switch it up too, y'all, because we gotta keep her interest as well. Otherwise, you know, that work wife don't know everything that she knows.
She sure don't. And I'm telling you, if she did, she probably wouldn't be your work wife.
Ooh.
Because ain't nobody gonna put up with the good and the bad.
Yeah, but you know what too? That's with the dynamic
Mm-hmm.
of the work wife, work husband.
Mm-hmm.
You're only seeing the surface anyway.
Mm-hmm.
With the work husband and the work wife. You're only seeing the surface. So if she got a husband at home, you got a wife at home. She know what it is already.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to come with a mask. You don't have to come with the falsity.
Right.
You don't have to come with that.
Right.
You don't have to come with that. She know what it is. I see what she looking like. She see what I'm looking like.
Right.
She in agreement with what I'm talking about. You know. But a lot of times, some people in a lot of relationships, we have to understand this too. In this country we live in, you going to work, or if you're doing something that you're passionate about, you ain't gonna be in the gym every day.
Absolutely not.
That's why you have to continue to work on your mental, your spiritual. That's why you have to understand how you live it.
That's why there's levels to
It definitely is.
To a connection with a person.
Exactly.
Your bond to that person is past the physical. If you get a connection where y'all friends, you know, if you worship together, you do stuff together. When it comes to that physical part, it just takes it to a whole nother extra plane. But if you're just looking at the physical part of someone, then it's very short-lived.
Mm-hmm.
And being vulnerable is one of my least favorite words because it's something that I have to work on every day, even with my husband. I just don't like it. I don't like being open, but I'm learning to be comfortable. And so sometimes it can flip. And I think that's where the line get crossed with those work relationships is that someone or both people are vulnerable when they're not vulnerable with the spouses. Mm-hmm. And now I understand what he feels, or he like, oh, I know she just need this. Mm-hmm. And then you wind up having this, you'll pick me up some chicken for lunch to y'all going to lunch, just y'all in the car, you texting your wife, she texting her husband, time I'm doing overtime, because y'all want to spend more time together and y'all ain't at work. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, this is where that happens too. So on the most part, I think for the most part, it is a surface-based relationship or a surface-driven relationship. But I do feel that there are those times where the vulnerability is shared, and I think that's when that line is crossed.
And then in addition to that, you're seeing the best part of each other going to work anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, your spouse is dealing with the complete you. Mm-hmm. And pretty much how you said, both of y'all were saying it, they're only seeing the part that they're dressing up for. Mm-hmm. So, go ahead.
Oh, no.
You good?
A lot of times, too, in some situations, people that I've met, some people, they found their soulmates at work because they're living with a cellmate. So we have to understand.
I had to do my number with him. That I normally do. One more time.
Okay. A lot of times people will look for that outside, I guess, love, attention, and affection, and they end up finding their soulmate at work because they're living with a cellmate.
It happens.
So I'm not, me personally, I'm not about to dump on work relationships because I've had a situation where I was dealing with someone, and it elevated my spirit. It elevated my consciousness because she introduced me to a whole new level of life. But at the end of the day, I realized I'm not the governor of my spouse's spirit. We're just spirits having a human experience right now. Everything we go through was already preordained. But see, that's the way I look at life, though.
Right.
But if somebody could tell me I'm wrong, I could be wrong. But at the end of the day, I'm not the governor of her spirit and what she needs to learn. I'm definitely not gonna try to hone in on, oh, who is that? Who that coworker? What you doing? Who you talking to on phone?
Right.
You better not be doing that. What you doing over there? Who you talking to? Who you texting? I'm not about to be that type of person because I understand we spiritually, you have to be in tune with what you're doing. And if you're not really learning in your intimate relationships, you're not really relating.
There you go. Intimate is the key word here. And a lot of people always want to equate intimacy to sex, and it's not. And that's where you have these work relationships, because people are vulnerable, they're intimate, regardless of whether it's a surface thing or not. You have something that you're sharing that you don't have with your spouse. And I worked in two offices where there was a work relationship that went on, and those persons left their spouses, and they are currently married till this day, and they are happy.
Well, kind of piggybacking off of that a little bit. So is there a benefit to having a workplace husband and a workplace wife?
Yes.
I think there's benefits for, what you looking for. Like, you know what I mean?
It's just open.
Like, whatever benefits that you look like, somebody may just want somebody that takes care of them. So from small stuff to bringing them cookies or making sure they got something to eat, to when there's a meeting, they just sit by them. They gotta have like that person, and you know what I mean? Like you can identify with. I think a lot of times it depends on what the person's in need of.
Yes.
To say, okay, is it beneficial? I think the reason why you have this relationship with this person is because you're looking for something. So it's gonna be beneficial. It's about what those benefits entail. Like what are they involved?
That's true. Black men, we're advocates. We're spiritual advocates. We're shepherds for peace, but we also home in so much pain. So with that, and I'm just speaking from my perspective, with that, if you're dealing with somebody and you're going to work with them, and you know you can provide something, sometimes that line gets crossed.
Because now you're doing a duty.
Because I've been in this situation before. I ain't trying to take up too much time. I was dealing with a young lady where she wasn't in the best income circumstance financially. But when I went through, she appreciated. We going to Hickory Tavern?
Oh my God.
But, yeah. You know, this is where we going?
I can have a drink and another drink.
Exactly. You can have all that, girl. I got you. That salad is $3, Brad. You don't want no fries? I got it.
Get what you want, boo.
Thank you. I know you're gonna appreciate
some cheese. You want some cheese on it? Get some cheese on it.
Dead wrong.
Thank you. And not only that, the joy I would have
to see her
light up and to see her son get happy when I come to the door. Oh my God, there go Brad. Here you go.
Coming over. Brad coming. He been his
I was
friend.
that man.
Brad coming over. Brad coming over.
I was that man coming. Look, this is what I provide. This is what I provide for you.
Hold on, we're gonna get to you in a minute.
I'm telling you, you have to. And that's what I met this young lady at work. I'm like, okay. She was like, come over. I'm like, okay, where you live at? Pulled it up. I said, oh, she's staying in the CHA apartment. I'm tripping. What I'm doing? She got an old box TV as a table. I said, this is terrible. I'm putting myself in this situation.
Now, you know that used to be going back in the day, boy. You had the old TV that them blew out. You put the new TV on top. That's classic.
Yeah,
that's a great tradition.
He didn't say it was the TV stand. He said it was the table.
But this is what it
I'm just
is.
saying, versatility of African Americans.
It's called cycling
That's
up.
what it
Yeah.
is. That's what. But see, we are being trapped though,
Right.
and I had attracted that. I was younger. I was like 21, but I had attracted that. I'm like, oh, this girl standing in the gutter. Niggas all outside. I'm like, I'm about to come in and be a good. I'm about to do the Lord's work right here. This is about to be the Lord's work. Your son ain't never had Hickory Tavern before.
Yeah, he drove by.
And I took you to the one downtown. You know I ain't lying.
Okay, I'm
I
sorry.
took you to the one downtown.
Oh, you see the buildings.
Oh,
You get to see the
I'm
buildings.
just keeping it real. I took you to the one downtown now.
He saw.
Okay.
Can we sit at the
No.
hot seat? Okay, I'm sorry.
Lord's work.
Y'all wrong.
Sorry.
Y'all wrong.
When you gotta
Wait,
do
go
Lord's
ahead.
work, it don't matter.
Go to our
Section
people.
eight.
Go to our people. Go to our people.
Okay, so we came up with this crazy topic, and I want your thoughts on it. You know, sometimes people have workplace husbands and workplace wives. Is that acceptable?
Acceptable to who?
Like, say for example, you get a phone call at home. You came home from work and everything. You at home, you chilling, and all of a sudden you get a phone call from your quote unquote workplace husband.
Okay.
What about the real husband at the house? Would that be acceptable to him?
No, I mean, me personally,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would never assign that title
Mm-hmm.
to anybody as a workplace husband.
Okay.
Like, we might be cool,
Mm-hmm.
but, you know, as long as you're respectable,
Mm-hmm.
know your limits.
So that's another good question.
Okay.
What are the limits? What are the boundaries?
Well, that depends on the person.
Okay.
I mean, for me, I would never do anything to disrespect myself, disrespect my husband or my marriage, or I guess the way that I look at it, I wouldn't do anything that I wouldn't want him to do.
Do unto others. I like that.
So I guess for me, it depends on the person. It depends on your situation. Some people they may not necessarily be happy in their home situation, so they may be deprived of attention. And they may enjoy that attention that they get from others. And they crave it. So
then to them,
there will be no boundaries. I mean, it's whatever. For me, I don't seek outside attention from other males like that because I get attention at home. I'm good. We're cool.
So now flipping it around.
Okay.
What if it happened by means of the husband side?
Okay.
You know what you say? Oh, that's just Shirley. You know, me and Shirley. You know, we chill. You know, we do lunch and stuff like that. You know, she good people. That way she calling at 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Shirley ain't calling 9 million at 9. If anything Shirley would need to call about, she needs to speak to both of us. So, no, I mean, I know my husband pretty well. I mean, he wouldn't let anything go that far either.
So again, it's those boundaries.
It's about boundaries and just knowing who you're with and knowing who you are as a person.
All right, so we back. And you know, that topic of discussion we just had was kind of deep. So of course we'll get another opinion. Some more words of wisdom. Okay, sis. You know how when we be at work, sometimes you have a workplace husband or a workplace wife.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it okay? Is it acceptable? Can you take it too far? Should you rein back? What you think? From a woman's point of view.
Well, you can take anything too far.
Right, true.
So I don't see anything wrong with having a workplace husband or workplace wife because I have two.
You got two?
I have two.
Got two. Okay, so quick question.
Hmm.
Is it okay for a workplace husband or wife, say, call you about 10, 11 o'clock, and you at home with the other husband or wife, and just carry on conversation?
Well, at 10, 11 o'clock, I'm already asleep, so they're not going to get a response from me.
So she knocked out.
So I'm asleep. It all depends. It really all depends. Like if your husband or your wife already knows about this person or whatever, it may be okay. And then it may be some people like a lot of the women that have workplace husbands, most of the husbands are gay. Cause the few that I know, they're gay. Not mine. Mine aren't gay.
Okay.
But I don't see anything wrong with it. That's just me. But 10, 11 o'clock at night, that may be too much.
Might be too much.
That might be too much.
Would it be different if, say, for example, the husband or the wife are like friends with your workplace husband or wife? So that's that like a leeway? That kind of like a, you know, or is it still pushing the boundary?
I don't know. It all depends. Like for me, I wouldn't have a problem with it because I'm secure with who laying in the bed with me. I mean, he is laying in the bed with me, so I'm cool with it. Now, if it's something that's on a regular basis, then maybe it's a problem. But they have a friendship. I mean, something could have happened and she needed his help or whatever. So stuff like that, I'm pretty open to.
Okay. Now we're going to divert real quick in regards to a question that kind of ties into it. So, is it cool to have a friend at work? So in other words, like, you know, started out as basically, hey, work with them, work with her. Then all of a sudden you form a friendship. Is that okay?
Opposite sex friendship?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. As long as you don't push the boundaries.
As long as you don't push the boundaries.